Hello there, and thank you very much for opening up this video. I really do appreciate it. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Bond, James Bond. I'm a health and fitness expert, and I work with people who want to improve their quality of life, particularly those who want to lose weight. What makes my service different is I'm the only doctor qualified personal trainer in the north of England, and therefore I can take on cases that other fitness instructors cannot or will not dare. Now today I was in the supermarket and I got this headline caught my eye. It's in the Daily Mirror. And normally I wouldn't buy this rag, but it's gone down in my credibility considerably the last few years. But I saw this, End Our Knife Health. Now, the thing here is, on reading it, some of my predictions that I made in 1999 when I was a final year medical student proved to be correct. It's a third case of deja vu. No one listened to me. But this article really caught my eye. Death by asthma shock 33% rise. The number of people dying from asthma attacks has risen by a third in a decade, revealed today. And poor care is to blame, according to charity Asthma UK. Well, how to put this? And when I read the response to this from the Royal College of General Practitioners, I was, to say the very least, surprised. I did my internship, my medical internship on a chest medical unit, and I got very, very good at dealing with asthma. Trust me on this. None of my patients with asthma ever ended up in intensive care. There are four things that that's a bare minimum for every patient with asthma. Okay, the first things first, all asthma patients need to keep a peak flow diary. And that basically means at the same time every day, just take a peak flow so you can keep an eye on your asthma. Okay, if it starts to deteriorate, go and get medical attention. Okay, number two, they should all carry one of these. Okay, it's a reliever. It's basically a salbutamol inhaler. I've got mild asthma myself, but you can see from here the expiry date on this is 2005. I haven't used it for a very, very long time. Okay, and basically inhaler technique needs to be monitored. Okay, just for the record, if you don't know how to use one of these, blow out hard, breathe in, blow out hard, breathe in, and basically press the button at the same time. It's really simple. Okay, third thing first. Okay, every patient with asthma needs to be seen by a GP every 3 months, okay, for a 3-monthly review, okay. Usually, now my dad, when he was in clinical practice, was a GP. Now, all his patients who had a long-term medical condition were seen every 3 months without fail. And the reason he did that is so he could keep their symptoms under control, okay. In the short term, it basically means that the waiting list rises, but in the long term they come down because everyone's under control, the referral rate to hospital is lower, and those people have fewer hospital admissions. Great. Okay, and that should always happen. Now the thing is, every patient with a long-term medical condition should within 6 months know more about their condition than their own doctor does. What Dad used to do, he would make sure that every patient with asthma joined the British by the Asthma UK, or in those cases the British Asthmatic Society, I think it was called in those days. Okay, and the thing here is they'll go to regular lectures, get regular magazines. Basically, they'll be updated regularly, so that ultimately they will know more about their condition than their own doctor did, and that's the gold standard, because that way, the better educated they are about their long-term condition, the less likely there was to get serious. Simple as that. Okay, so that's the first thing. Now, the thing is, it mentions here about the costing. Well, there should be no conflict whatsoever between NHS management and clinicians over costing, for one simple reason. Well-organized, good quality clinical medicine is value for money medicine. In every situation you can think of clinically, the best treatment possible is always the cheapest. Now, I've just mentioned to you that if every patient with asthma should have a peak flow diary to keep an eye on it, keep one of these on at all times. Okay. Number three, get regularly reviewed by the GP every 3 months. And fourthly, they should know more about their condition than their own doctors does. Great, magnificent. So what then goes and happens is that they keep their asthma under control. Now that's really good quality clinical medicine, but it's also damn sight cheapest because that patient is most unlikely to end up in hospital or require a hospital a consultant to review their asthma. Okay, so I don't see the conflict there. Just for the record, what triggers off an asthma attack? The common things are cigarette smoke, cold air, certain occupational gases, allergens, aspirin, dust, psychological stress, uh, irritants, certain irritants, infection, and emotional upset, and certain forms of exercise. That doesn't mean that you shouldn't exercise. It's very, very good for people with asthma to exercise. Okay, it goes a long way to improve their lung capacity. Now, here's the other thing about asthma. If their patient is unfortunate enough to end up in hospital with an asthma attack, it is really, really important, and the commonest cause for them to die in hospital with an asthma attack is because they're given 24% oxygen. Now, what actually happens is, ultimately, what's going to kill a patient with an asthma attack is lack of oxygen to the vital organs, including the brain. Now, when I was in hospital, I used to see it all the time. Doctors would start the patient on 24% oxygen, take it up to 40, then to 60, then 100. Now, air is 21% oxygen. So if you're giving people 24% oxygen, you're just literally just opening the window. What should happen is you should give them 100% and titrate downwards. Okay, oxygen won't do anyone any much harm. Okay, unless they've got true hypoxic drive, but that's a very, very rare. Now, thing here is, if a patient did end up with hypoxia due to asthma, and the anaesthetist has found that you've given them 24% oxygen, they'd be rather upset, to say the very, very least. A lot of hospital admissions for a lot of intensive care admissions due to asthma can be prevented by giving the patient 100% oxygen. Okay, it's harmless. I just don't understand why that's actually proved to be the case. I've often wondered what are they teaching medical students in medical school these days. Give them 100% oxygen and titrate downwards. Right. Okay. So there's no need. Asthma should be a routine emergency, but the better it's managed, the better managed it is, the less likely the patient will die from it. So as I said, if you are a parent out there and you've got a child with asthma, please, please, please make sure, one, they keep a flow diary. Two, they've got one of these in them all the time. Three, they're seen by the GP every 3 months just for a review. And lastly, and most importantly, they know more about asthma than their own doctor does. Okay, make sure they're really well educated. They go to regular lectures, they go to get magazines, etc., 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 so they know more about their condition than the doctors do. Okay, hopefully that's enough information to you, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye bye.